All right, we're on. We'll call this meeting to order. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join Commissioner Kirschner with prayer.
Please bow your heads for a moment. Heavenly Father, we ask for your wisdom in making decisions for those that we represent. We ask in a very special way that you protect all the farmers in their fields at this point. Keep them safe. We ask for a good harvest. We ask that you protect all those who are protecting us at this point and their families, all those in service, men and women. We ask all this through your Son. Amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here. I'll accept a motion to approve the digital audio recording of the previous board session from Thursday, October 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes. All right. Administrators report.
Nothing today?
Nothing today.
Nothing today.
How did you think the master planning session went?
Very interesting.
Report a little bit on that.
I figured you guys would. We got another session tomorrow. I assume it's gonna be the same.
Yep.
Same thing.
Same thing, different people.
Well, make sure you tell John we appreciate all of his time that he's put into this.
Oh,
Because I know it falls on him.
Hopefully they'll come in and bring us a report afterwards.
It's the goal.
Soon.
Yeah. So we have commissioned a group to look at all of our buildings and campuses to create a master plan. This started probably 5 years ago with Commissioner Kirschner. He formed the building committee, and that evolved into a team of consultants that are trying to, if we have to expend money in the future on buildings and grounds, that we have a plan on which to follow. And so we've taken probably 8 months to investigate all of our building needs, and we are in the final stages with our department heads and other electeds and finalizing what will be probably a 20-year plan. But we were faced with investing in buildings that we didn't think were in our long-term future. And so when we were making those decisions as to whether or not to put a roof on that's going to last 5 years or 30 years, we didn't know if the buildings were going to be in our inventory in 30 years. So getting a master plan will help us best utilize our taxpayer money and provide the best facilities for the dollar. So we are meeting today and we're meeting tomorrow with department heads to kind of give the first draft of that. Commissioner reports.
It's looking at me, right?
Sure.
So it's my first time out here. For those of you that are local, very nice facility. Very impressed with the facility and glad to be here. I'm a resident of Pleasant Township, just so for those out there that don't know that. I have a couple things to report. Today I had the opportunity to go to Elmwood at the Shawn. Mr. Baum turned 100 today. Today's his actual birthday. World War II veteran, retired lieutenant colonel. It was a pretty special program. They had a cake for him down below. Our United Veterans Council was there, dressed in full dress blues. That's right. I can say that right, Ken. So Mr. Baum came around the corner with his walker, stopped, and saluted everybody. It was priceless. So we delivered a proclamation there. I thought that was very rewarding. 50-year plus resident of the county, farmer, 4-H instructor, couple ag degrees from Ohio State. Just a great guy. So it's a good opportunity. Also, just for fun, I want to acknowledge our new mascot at the museum, Ducky McQuacker. For those of you that don't know, we have a four-legged duck at the museum. It was neat. The museum reached out to the students in the entire county, had a naming contest, and Marley Goshi from New Riggle was the one that was selected. So we're glad that's behind us, but that'll be something they will use to help market the museum going forward. And so we want to congratulate them for all their efforts. They work really hard over there. That's all I have.
Well, we'll stick with the veterans theme, this is Dad here. There's a joint collaboration between the city and the county to unveil a memorial stone for Jim Roberts on November the 10th. It's a Sunday at 1 o'clock. Anyone that can be there is more than welcome. Jim we lost Jim last month. He was a great advocate for veterans and worked a whole lot on the Frost Parkway area with the World War monuments and war monuments. So we will be unveiling a stone for him there in his memory, for all his hard work, his family, a band, the city, and the county will all be there. So anybody would like to thank, please do. And the chamber honored two folks this past week, and I thought that it was worth mentioning that both are county employees. Steve Schuff, Judge Steve Schuff was named Citizen of the Year. We're proud of that. And Kathy Oliver, Department of Job and Human Services Director, Executive Director, was named, I'm not sure what the award is, it's the Woman of the Year, but it used to be the Athena Award, but outstanding entrepreneurial as far as women go, and people that made a difference. So the two major awards for the county for the year, or for the city for the year, were given to county staff. I thought that was something nice to mention.
Today we had a planning session for the census. Audrey was there, Tony was there. We are getting organized because 2020 is a census year. So continue to spread the word about the upcoming census. You'll be receiving information. The sooner you take care of it, the sooner they'll stop bothering you to complete it. So, but a couple of things you have to remember is all that information is secure, protected by law, sequestered for 70 years. So there's nothing that can be pulled out about your personal information, and that it really benefits the counties, townships, the villages to have an accurate population count. It's good for schools, it's good for Head Start, it's good for all the programs, CDBG, anything that has a population number attached to it. It's important for us to have an accurate count. So you're going to hear a lot about it. You'll be tired of hearing about it by April, but if everyone will please help spread the word. And it's if you live in an area for 6 months and 1 day, that's where you're counting. So we'll continue to talk about the census, obviously targeting the universities because they have the most confusion about where they live. Nursing homes, that maybe people who are on respite, there's a lot of places like that are it's kind of confusing, but we'll continue to clarify that and work towards those goals. Good. All right, old business. Any old business? New business.
New business. I have a couple financials. I have a request for contract projects line for the engineer. Needs additional funds to finish up the projects for the year for $12,611.83 out of his maintenance and repair fund. I have a resolution for the sewer district. It's funds needed to finish the 2019 for the Bascom area of the sewer district under contract services, $6,338.65. And I have a request, Job and Family Services. They need to appropriate $85,000 into their WIA shared cost. This allows for the agency to reimburse public assistance funds for the remaining calendar year. So those are the financials I have. I have a resolution authorizing a contract with Rumpke for trash services on behalf of the Seneca County Maintenance Department, authorizing Stacy Wilson, County Administrator, to sign. John got some quotes and Rumpke came in good, so Derek's reviewed it. And then I have a resolution authorizing the agreement services for the subsidy grant for the Community-Based Corrections Agreement 407 on behalf of the Seneca County Common Police Court, retroactive to June 20th, 2019. This is where the judge had come into one of our board sessions and discussed this, and the board had approved it. There was no official resolution signed, but the grant agreement was signed. Holly's name is still on it. We've checked with Derek, and Derek said it's fine. Tony signs the resolution. It's just allowing it retroactive to the 20th. So he's okay with that. It was just, he come in and talked about it, but we just didn't have a resolution to attach to the grant. So that's all I have.
Okay, accept the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. All right, roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes. All right, time's come for public comments. Anybody has any comments? 3 minutes, state your name, where you live, so we can get it on record.
My name is Ann Fry. I live at 3836 South County Road 43, Bloomville. On September 5th, 2019, I read the front page article in the Advertiser Tribune that the city of Tiffin was listed as a safe city in Ohio. I found the online information and was very pleased when I saw the graphics used on the webpage. Look closely at the image used on the website, backgroundchecks.org, Safest Cities in Ohio. There are wind turbines used in the logo. Yes, I believe in wind energy will be a great boost to our economy, especially in my area of Seneca County. The Seneca County Commissioners and others in administrative positions have been very excited by the addition of splash pads and new sub shops being built in Tiffin. However, what is being planned to boost the economics outside the city of Tiffin? I have read much concern about how the wind project will affect the Seneca County Airport. An acquaintance of mine from Salem, Ohio, a benefactor for BGSU, regularly has his jet pilot fly him and his family to Wood County Regional Airport to attend events at BGSU. There are wind turbines in Wood County. How is Seneca County different? My sister recently retired from the federal government as an air traffic controller. She worked at the Washington Center. The area she controlled was filled with restricted airspace. How is Seneca County different? My husband has spoke with Lifelight officials 2 times and has inquired about problems that may be encountered with landing around wind turbines. Each time the answer was there will be no problems, only if guide wires are involved. Lifelight easily lands between skyscrapers and cities. I remember visiting downtown San Diego where jets take off and land right among skyscrapers. How is Seneca County different? Bowling Green, Ohio has wind turbines near the city, and the turbines are included in the town logo. Turbines are included in the logo of the microbrewery and the Sunset Bistro. When we were in Aruba, turbines were proudly displayed on graphics there. There are communities that enjoy the benefits and celebrate the presence of wind turbines, yet in Seneca County, you have let a very vocal minority who have gathered their unscientific knowledge from a Google search to prevent economic growth in the county. There was opposition to the new Rover pipeline in Seneca County before construction. There were lawyers involved helping people fight the pipeline. The Rover pipeline was constructed and is running. Roads that received wear and tear have been restored. 3 school districts are about to reap the rewards. Hopewell Loudon will receive over $1 million. Mohawk schools will receive $800,000, and the Buckeye Central schools in 2 years will reap close to $9 million. My property taxes will decrease by 14%, and the new Buckeye Central school building will be paid off. I think this information is newsworthy, and I asked the Buckeye Central treasurer to submit this information to the Advertiser Tribune. I was surprised when she said she had submitted a news brief that never appeared in print. I also passed this information on to a third party who met with the new publisher, who said a reporter would be contacting me for an interview. Nothing has happened. I believe it's important for the public to know that a project that was once reviled and feared is now providing wonderful benefits to Seneca County. I'm still suspicious of why this information has not been publicized. I do not understand why the commissioners are fighting economic growth for their county. If the commissioners have other ideas and plans for economic growth, I'd love to hear these plans. What I do know, we can benefit greatly from the wind projects if you would allow progress to happen without fear of change.
Thank you, Ann. Further comments? Charles?
Charlotte Road, 7245, South County Road 43, Boone Township. Just would like to say that if you look at some of the things she's talked about, places that have had the turbines have voted against them, Finley being one of them. Nothing in those places that were cited is anything to the scale or scope of what we're talking about here. You could be able to drive for 31 miles on State Route 4 with all these projects that are coming up. We're not talking about 2, we're not talking about 3. I just urge everyone not to destroy what's great about our county, to make some money. Greed and envy is never a great motivator and reason to inflict that kind of hardship, that kind of burden on so many other people. I mean, if you're looking at 77 possible turbines divided among the 1,600 houses that are being impacted, it's just, we can do better.
Other comments?
I guess,
Kimberly Grove,
yes,
same address.
Kimberly Brooks, same address. I'll just tack on to what my husband said. There are some things worth more than money. But I also think when we're talking about the industrial wind turbines being proposed, there are economic impacts the other way around. I know Charles and I have blueprints at home for an addition on our house that we are putting off because we don't know if we will stay in the house if the Seneca Wind project is built. And the architect, interestingly enough, when he asked what our timeline was, and we told him that, he said, "You're not the first clients I've had who are putting off a project in this area." If you look at the ages of the people who stand to benefit financially from hosting a turbine, compared to the ages of the people who formally intervened in the first Seneca Wind project, there's a significant difference, and the interveners are significantly younger. If you think about the fact that these turbines will be here for the next 20 to 30 years is what we're told, when we look at who do we want to attract to this community, it's the younger families. And those are the people who are standing up stronger in opposition. And if we're talking about the health of Bloom Township, Eastern Seneca County, we have to take that into account. I could keep going on and on, but I think that's enough.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name is Dustin Austin, County Road 46 in Thompson Township in Bellevue. And I live within the Republic footprint, and I just want you guys to understand, which I'm sure some of you have done some research, but in our specific area, on our family farm alone, there's the 160-acre farm, which is split off into 3 owners. There's 5 sinkholes and the 6th one opening up. Apex plans to run transmission lines feet from these sinkholes that are getting larger and larger and larger. You guys are familiar with Bellevue. Several years ago, one of the farmers wanted to decrease the flooding in his farm, so my understanding was that he plugged the sinkhole with some concrete. Well, what happened was that backed all the way up and flooded out other houses around Bellevue. And one of the big concerns for us is, what is it going to do to our well water, and what is it going to do to this very, very heavily populated karst formation that we all sit on? And with the vibrations and with everything else, there's significant concerns, especially with sinkholes and more of them opening up and some getting bigger and bigger. So I ask and I urge you all to consider that and keep that in mind when you're voting or speaking on that, and please help us protect the area that we live in regards to the karst area.
Just for your knowledge, I want to look this up. There's a karst expert that submitted testimony. Have you read that testimony yet? Okay, so, I'm not telling you you don't know, but he made a number of points that were more scientific than we're able to because he was a scientist.
Yes.
Gail Moyer, Boone Township. We just want to comment on one of the things that Ian said. It would be logical that helicopters would be able to go down between skyscrapers. Skyscrapers don't move, they don't change the air pressure when turbines do.
Mr. Nutter, anything good for the good of the order?
Just that, Ben Nutter, Sunny Farms Landfill, we, as you know, had our, open house, a couple weeks ago, and we continue to be open to the public, and anyone and everyone is welcome to call me at any time and do a personal one-on-one tour of the landfill, whatever you want, and then we'll, continue to be open in that regard. We're really happy that we have completed our emissions report, and we spent the last 2 quarters without any emissions of any significance, and so excited about that and continue to move forward.
Audrey, I do think maybe the statement was made in Ann's testimony. The question was, what else is the county doing for any place else but Tiffin? The fact that we've invested significant money in that, if you could kind of give us a little bit of an overview of what the county is indeed doing for places other than Tiffin.
Yeah, so one of the things I would say the biggest thing they're doing,
Audrey Flood, Tiffin Seneca
Sorry,
Economic
yes.
Partnership, Boonville native.
Yes, grew up in right down the road. Yeah, so they were able to bring me on, partly because the commissioners have decided to invest in economic development, outside of the city of Tiffin, and make our efforts out there stronger. So I'm here to provide an increased level of service from the Tiffin Seneca Economic Partnership. It used to be SIDEC, recently changed their name. So I'm a development manager for the rural areas. So I have spent the last several months going out and meeting with each township and each village. Bloom Township was the first one that I visited. And talking about what the kind of priorities are in each of their jurisdictions, what kind of projects are going on out there. And what their needs are, and helping the townships and villages to, one, have more of a voice in our kind of economic conversations countywide, and also having a specific resource for all the businesses out here in the counties. And this has already provided projects that have come out of this. A township will say, oh yes, there's a business down here that's trying to open, or there's a business here that's struggling, and I've been able to step in and help several businesses, and I'm still in the process of helping several work through things like regulatory issues, help find financing options, what else, all kinds of things, being able to provide some press and promotion for some businesses that we're working with. And so I'd say it's been pretty fruitful so far, and we're just getting started. This is kind of a brand new initiative. We're also looking to just provide more kind of promotion and more awareness of the rest of the township to get, coverage of the cool things that are happening out here. So, over in Republic, they're doing a really cool project with their, opera house and trying to kind of revitalize their downtown. We've been able to get involved in some of those projects and help promote that. So helping businesses, giving a voice to the priorities for the rest of the county outside of Tiffin to be added into that conversation and providing specific support and resources at no cost to the rural businesses through the Tiffin Seneca Economic Partnership are, I guess, some of the main points of that. And I do have a stack of cards if anybody wants to talk about other things that we could be doing out in the rural areas. I am all ears. I'm following news.
On board for less than a year, right?
Right, yeah. Yep, I did grow up here, but yeah, just graduated with my master's in May, so I've only been full-time since then, part-time a little farther back. But if any of you all know of any businesses who either are thinking about opening, who might need some support, are thinking about expanding and need to work through some things, or businesses that might be, in need of some services because they might close or something like that, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I'll have some cards, and I can help with that, or any kind of real kind of specific economic needs that you all can see out here. Happy to talk about those as well. One other thing we are trying to do is we recently completed a kind of database of all the properties, either land for development or buildings that may be for sale or for rent out in the townships and villages, and kind of keeping that in availability for when businesses come to us saying, hey, we need somewhere to build, we need somewhere to rent, or we're looking to buy a building, which they do all the time, come to our office with that. Now we're able to say, oh, there's something that's the perfect fit out here in Bloomville or in Bloom Township. So that's something we're trying to also expand that, so to make sure that the focus isn't always in Tiffin, but continuing to support Tiffin as well. So, any other questions I can answer or more detail on that?
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that when we did the budget for economic development, a lot of Mr. Thomas is urging, he made certain that there was representative for the townships and for the rural areas. In addition to that, the land bank has focused on a lot of areas. A number of homes in Bloomville have been purchased, are going to be either leveled or rehab. Some in Attica, some in the Republic as well. So I didn't want any insinuation that the commissioners were only concentrating on what's going on in the Tiffin market. We are here for 57,000 people across the county, not just specifically Tiffin. I wanted to make sure that did not go up on the staff.
All right. Anybody else? Anything for the good of the order? All right. Thank you very much for coming out, and thank you to Bloom Township for hosting us.
Thanks for correcting that.
We got an app for that. You want the gavel out.